welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to show you this 2021 GMC. Clara brought it up last year. Sean and I did the floor, the walls, the ceiling, and just the basic shell. And Clara and her husband have finished this build out, and she's going to give you guys a look.
In that intro, Jonnie understated what she did. She fulfilled a dream. I mean, the ceiling, the roof rack, the max air fan, and has answered questions when I needed answers. So she did more than just the shell. So, but David and I, we're going to do some traveling this together, just short trips. You know, he is not in favor of going on long trips. So we needed 2 beds. We're too old to crawl across each other to get out at night or scoot down the edge of the bed without waking the other one up. So this is the solution that David came up with. This pulls out because it's really full of stuff right now. And then this extends all the way to the edge. And we have a mattress at home that we can put on that when we want to use it. So this is my bed. And then this is the bed that Jonnie built in the back. And that's where David sleeps. So, and I had friends, a friend made the curtain for me and the duvet for me. A friend helped modify a screen for me for the front. So just lots of friends, and Jonnie among them. And then here's my water system. It is a 5-gallon jug, and it's bungeed in. But to make it look pretty, David built this tray, and then we stapled the fabric, which matches the headboard. And we did the headboard because things kept falling off the back of it when David was asleep. So my cousin Patty made my fruit basket for me. And it's been so much fun. David put a top on this, made it a little bit higher. That's where my silverware is. He did this so it wouldn't fall out while I was driving. This actually, when you push it back in, the legs bolt off. There's bolts with wing nuts underneath. So I can take this leg off and it'll fit right in back here behind the seat. So technically this folds up, which is what I intended to do, and see all the storage then that's underneath. But this turned out to be such a handy little feature to have this table. I can sit on it when I get in. I prep, I cook on it. So it's been handy. I don't think I will actually ever fold it up. Well, the smaller van was partially for, well, Bob Wells. He said, get a GMC. It'll run forever. You can get it worked on. Get a GMC. And, you know, David, he knows more about motors and stuff, so that's what we were looking for. We couldn't find one anywhere. And when I first contacted Jonnie, I told her, I said, we're probably going to get a Ford Transit, you know, the mid-roof. And the day we went, to get it, the Ford dealership had like 15 of these on their lot that they had just bought in a fleet from U-Haul. So the plan completely changed. We bought the GMC. Yesterday I drove up in not yesterday, but a couple of days ago, drove up and the winds were awful, pushing the van. And I thought, okay, yeah, I'm really happy with my shorter van. Because, you know, like everybody says, you don't live in it, you live out of it. And that's what we do. So it's worked out well for us. Would I like to stand up? Sure. But this was a good compromise financially. And, you know, it sets us free.
Now, you know, everybody's going to ask, where do you go potty?
Oh, right back here. Here's my refrigerator. That's something else too. Jonnie was so, like when I got here, she said, what do you want? And I said, well, a bed. And I want, you know, and she said, oh, there's a refrigerator. Where do you want that? And I said, I don't know. So here's where Jonnie put it. This is a storage area. I've got storage over here where I can put things. And here is my toilet. So it's a 2.5 gallon bucket. And at night, I take and set it out here. And I leave this, here's my jar, my catcher. I leave it in there. So this goes on top. And I set it in there. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this, but there's condensation. I call it pedensation. that will come up out of this. So my solution to that is a cork. So the rubber cork goes in there, and then I leave this on the floor. So at night when I need to use my system, the cork goes here. I use my system. I have a vinegar bottle sitting right here. Give it a few squirts, put the cork back on it, and I go back to bed.
So you sit on that. Do you have like a soft ring, a pool?
No, I have.
No, you just, yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of cushion.
Nice.
You can cut that out if you want to. So then I wash it up with vinegar. And of course, when I get home, I'll wash it really good. And somebody had just talked about putting an effordent, like dental tab in it, and shake about half water and shake your jar. She says just like a fresh breath, is what she said. So I'm going to try that too. So there's that. And then in an emergency, I have these for if I need to do more than just TT. So I've got bags and stuff in here. I've only had to do that once. And so I'm not really sure which kind of system I want to use for that. But I have all the YouTube stuff in here when the need arises.
Isn't it amazing all the stuff that you can find on YouTube?
I know.
Other people are doing.
Their experiences and sharing, and women. I came here this weekend. There's 4 or 5 other women that have come, and some have gone. And we sat last night together with Jonnie and had ate our meal together. It was just wonderful talking to them and listening to their experiences, and their courage is what I'm really impressed by.
We were talking about that the other day. It's like so many women are getting into this later in life and just loving it. And I think it is the camaraderie and,
Well, if there's something about proving to yourself you can do it too, And I haven't done it a lot, and I probably, I won't be able, I'm not going to be gone 3 months or anything like that, but I'm enjoying it very, very much so. Jonnie put in the fan too. I mean, you just look around, everything that she put in here. So, and this is from Becoming Bev, the little chandelier. I saw that in hers, and I thought, okay, when I get a van, I am going to have me a chandelier. It's not as nice as, was it Rusty? Whoa, her chandelier was gorgeous. It's real. But I have my own chandelier. That's my emergency night light. I'll take that down when I travel. If I just pull that down, and it's nice too because I can just pull it down lightly if David is in here and we don't wake each other up that way. So
how do you cook? What do you use to cook?
My stove is right here. So here's my butane stove, and it sits in there. And I also use a Hot Logic Mini a lot. When David and I went, when we went to Melbourne Lake, I had some prep meals. I had the chicken cook, I had broccoli, I had spinach. And so we made like the Knorr noodles and put the broccoli and the chicken in it. And we did another one with shrimp and spinach. So, I do that. The Hot Logic's just really, really handy if you have electricity. And then of course when I'm driving, I can plug in and have a hot meal when we get to the place, our first destination. So that's really about all we do. This is when the first time I went camping, I went to a meetup with Travel Grandma in New Mexico. So David was real worried. I was going to try doing all the dried foods, and David was worried about me not having a cooler. So we got this little red one, we had this little red one, and I had seen, I'm not sure if it was Elaine or somebody else that had wrapped it in Reflectix. So I've got ice in there, and if you could have felt it when I lifted that lid, it's still very, very cold in there. And then there's a rack, so there's 2 juice jugs surrounded by ice, and that's where like the eggs were in there, and because my refrigerator, sometimes it freezes things, but this was a gift. The freezer was a gift. The refrigerator was a gift from Liz, the Gadget Queen, at the meetup in New Mexico. So she gifted that to me, and she did this wrapping of it. So that I was there for 4 or 5 days, and I still had, it was cold, but not cool enough for the meats that I wanted. I made sure all that kind of stuff was gone. But I do a lot of pre-cooking. Like if sausage patties, cook them up, freeze them, put them in here or in there, and then when you get there, put them in the Hot Logic. Because wherever we go with David, I'm going to have electricity.
So you use these soft baskets a lot, and you don't have to bungee them or anything while you drive.
Now this one stays because of the rug. So it'll slide out and hit the rug.
Yeah.
I just didn't put the bungee on for the video. I will bungee this blocks in. And of course these have this and they don't slide. And this one, if it didn't slide when I was coming up here, but if it does, this rug's gonna stop it. It has so far. So.
Nice.
But see, that was supposed to be the top of the table. Was the prettier piece of wood. But since I'm probably never going to flip it, it's the bottom.
That's such a good idea. Everybody loves a second bed in van life.
Yeah.
That's always a hit. All right, guys, Clara is on the road, and a quick little story. Clara sent me this in December, and you can look at it and you can kind of tell what it is. And I like opening these on video, and it was right around Christmas time. Totally didn't do it. Took it to quartzsite with me. Didn't do it there either, out of sight, out of mind. Clara was here, and I thought, oh, I'm going to do it with Clara, and we totally didn't get to do that either. I am going to open this up. I'm going to assume license plate. Oh, you can't make it up, you know. And I know which state this is, or has to be. And so I am super excited. Make sure I don't tear up a note or something. I'm super excited. Now, you know I will reuse these paper towels. Super excited to get Kansas on the wall.